Having an entire referral system for my coaching business changed everything. And it actually helped me scale from 250K a month to 500K in just a couple of months. Today in this video, I'm going to show you how you can get existing clients to refer all of their friends into the program. So let's cover three things. Number one is, how should your referral system actually be set up? What should be the benefits for the people who give you referrals, and how do you stack them if they give you 1, 5, or 10 people they refer? The second thing is, when do you actually ask them for referrals? Most of you guys think you can only ask for referrals after the client actually saw success, which is not true. You can literally ask them right away, and also after you had success, and then again and again and again. So it's just important to know when people are most likely to give you the referral. And the last thing I want to give you here is word for word templates, which you can just text people so they can actually literally right away give you the referrals themselves. So let's start with my personal referral page. So I'm running an e-commerce coaching business, which is in the dropshipping niche. Basically, I help dropshippers build their online store and scale it. So the website I'm going to show you here is basically only for people who already are in the program. And let's go through what they actually get for the different referrals. If they refer one person, they get two things. The first thing is 10% of the referrals upfront payment. And the second thing is a 30-minute bonus one-on-one call with me. Just so you understand, getting one referral is obviously worth thousands of dollars for you, which means you should reward them instantly pretty high. And 30-minute bonus call with me is a huge reward, plus they also get 10%. Pretty straightforward. However, we want to have a tier list where people try to get to the last point. They want to get to the 10, and they have different milestones in between, and the 10 is just going to be crazy rewards. So what do they get from us when they actually give us 3 referrals? And by the way, this means that 3 people actually bought. Not just a random number, but 3 people actually signed up to our program because of that. Number one is we increase their affiliate deal, which is from 10%, we go up to 15%. And also we give a bunch of other things, which is a 10 out of 10 banger handpicked product that converts. And that's basically giving them a winning product, which is relevant in the dropshipping niche. You just have to think about something which is relevant in your niche, which has a really high perceived value, and they want to work themselves up to that. So we chose this because it makes sense. You need to think of yours. They again get the 30-minute bonus call, and also they get an advanced bonus organic pack. And it's basically for dropshippers. They get like an actual gift sent to their home. In our case, it's a logo printer where you can take your dropshipping product and you basically are able to print the logo of your brand onto every dropshipping product you start selling, which makes everything look better. And it's, again, the perceived value of this product is super high. However, it doesn't cost that much to us. Like, all of this combined is going to cost us a few $100s, when in reality 3 referrals is going to be worth way more than 10K. So obviously it's worth it. Now let's go to 5 referrals. Here they actually get bonus one-on-one calls every single week with one of our top guys in the program, Jacob. And then also on top of that, you can pick who you want the one-on-one calls with from the advanced students which we have in our program. And you also have additional weekly bonus calls with me. This is something which you need to reward a lot. 5 referrals, again, is so much money that it's actually worth it to do all of these things. And the last thing we give here is basically when people hit 10 referrals, the main thing that changes is they actually get a fully paid vacation to Dubai or to some place with me and my team. This is something which people work towards. They really, really want this. When I tell this to people, they're literally gonna think, holy shit, I can actually go on a vacation with my mentor together and learn everything from him for a week. What this system created is literally that people want that trip so much that they go into random groups online and start texting people to get them into the program. They basically go through Facebook groups, Discord groups. When people ask questions, they just answer them, get in a conversation, and then say, hey, I'm in this program, it's amazing, you should also join. And then basically people get started. So if you have a system like this, it's just going to be insane how some people are just going to do everything to get to the top tier level. Alright, so now that you know what the offer actually should be, let's actually talk about when exactly you should ask your clients for the referral. So the moment somebody becomes a client, they get an onboarding call. And that's basically where a person from my team explains them the entire process of what the next steps are. Now, keep in mind, the onboarding call is in the first 24 hours after the sale. That's the first moment you already plant the seed for referrals already. Even though the person never had any success with you, know nothing, you just ask because it's not gonna hurt. And there was not a single person ever who wanted a refund because we asked this. Okay, so you should always ask. So obviously, if they say yes, they just become a client here. And if they say maybe, you put them onto the follow-up list. So all the maybe people, you basically will put on a list, and 2 days later, you ask them again. And I'm gonna show you exactly how, what the text message is. And basically, the same exact thing goes for in 7 days. These you follow up a bunch on. However, if they say no, you shouldn't do follow-ups in the next 2 or 7 days. You just leave that out. The follow-up should only be there if they say, yeah, I have to think about it, I'm not really sure who to refer to, I'm gonna let you know. If they say something like that, go ahead. If they say, no, I don't really want to refer anybody to a program where I didn't even have any success yet, then you're going to be like, all right, let's wait until you have the success and then we can pitch it to you again. So obviously you leave them out and you say, okay, cool. Now, after the 2-day follow-up and the 7-day follow-up, the next key moment where you should ask for referrals is after small wins. So in our example with dropshipping, because we do a bunch of TikTok organic stuff, when people hit their first video with like 100,000 views, we actually send this message again, which again, I'm going to show you. But basically, right after a win, you just remind them, hey, you can still refer people, remember? And then obviously when they have a huge win, so they actually started making legit money, or for dropshippers, they started making like 10K a month in profit, then obviously you should again ask them for referrals. And here you're gonna see that they come automatically. Like that's the moment where you don't really have to ask anymore. They're basically gonna just send people your way if they meet any. And this is something very simple. However, let's now talk about the messages you actually are gonna be able to send. This is actually the first message you sent 2 days after you already talked about it in the onboarding. So 2 days after the onboarding, you send this. Hey, also just to let you know, we're running an affiliate program to the mentorship. If you know anybody who's also interested in joining the course, just send us their number and name and you will get 10% of their upfront payment. Plus, Jacob and Michael will handpick a perfect 10 out of 10 winning product for you as a reward. Does anybody come to mind? And this is a very simple message, but this just works. If people actually know somebody, they will send them to you. And then after 7 days, again, very, very simple. You say, hey, did somebody come to mind? Also, again, super simple. And then later on, when they actually start seeing success, you can customize it. Hey, I saw you had your first 100K views. Congrats on that. You also know somebody who wants to learn how to go viral. Something like that can be done. If you are doing fitness coaching, hey, you lost 5 pounds. Do you know anybody else who would like to do the same? And basically, then you can actually talk about this specific goal they already reached and customize it like that. Now, the thing I want to tell you here is the premise for all of this is number one, that the onboarding process is on point. The sales process is on point, and obviously your service has to be amazing. If these 3 things are not going to be there, all of this is not going to work. So what you need to do is you just need to put yourself in their position. If they're not 100% sure if you guys are legit, they're not going to recommend you. However, if in the first 24 hours everything went so smooth that basically they already know, even without having the results, that you are really, really good at what you're doing, all of a sudden everything changes. They just need to make sure, all right, this whole thing is legit. They don't even need the results yet, okay? They just need to make sure that you are good. So the thing we did with like having an extra website just specifically for referrals and having the system on following up in specific days is all super fancy and good, and it works for us because we are doing things on a high level. But in the beginning, I would say the first and biggest game changer you can do is just ask. Literally just ask. And this is something which I've literally learned from the movie Fight Club. I remember this scene vividly and it just stayed in my head forever, where basically the main character loses his apartment because it gets burnt down. And then he calls a friend, meets up with him, goes for lunch, and basically talks to him about everything for like 3 hours straight. And then in the end of the evening, he understands, I need to sleep at his place because I literally don't have an apartment at this point. However, he's not asking. He's just talking about random shit and never asks. And then the friend just tells him, hey, just ask. And he's like, what do you mean? Just ask if you can sleep at my place. We both know what you're doing here. You lost your apartment today. I get it. I understand why you met up with me. Just ask. And this is something which generally in life applies, but especially here with understanding that there's no risk at all, and they will understand. They will understand you're not doing anything weird or creepy, just asking. You're just asking for referrals. Now, the main thing I want to tell you here again is your entire support system needs to be on point for this. And I've actually made a separate video on how to give perfect client delivery, how to make sure that every single client who joins actually stays happy and how you manage a bunch of people at the same time. Because for us, we have over 100 people every single month which newly join the program. That's new people. And obviously, we also have to handle all the people who are already inside. And this is something which is obviously not doable if this whole process is not perfectly streamlined and systemized. So I would highly recommend watching that video, which is talking about all the things you need to know about customer fulfillment.